Hello everyone, and welcome to Yoshi 1 Kenobi's first day of class deck. Now this is as a response to challenge by random person, and that's not because I forgot the username of the follower is actually random person. And so thank you very much for the idea to build a deck around first day of class. This deck's actually a lot of fun. So let's start with first day of class. Well, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control this turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on it and it gains haste until the end of turn. And then you get a learn. So, this has haste and +1/+1 synergies. And it benefits you when you summon a bunch of small creatures in that turn, or a bunch of big creatures, but that's typically more costly mana-wise. So let's see if we can have another sort of payoff that's similar. And Shaile, Dean of Radiance, has a similar effect, which puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature that's entered the battlefield during this turn. So you have first day of class and Shaile that have similar effects of just boosting creatures that enter the battlefield during the turn. Also, Shaile's ability will cost no mana as long as you have Shaile on the battlefield. And that's the type of effect we're looking for. Conclave Mentor is going to double the amount of +1/+1 counters, so it fits right in with the strategy. Now, since we're playing Shaile, we'll be playing Selfless Savior in order to defend a 1/1 flyer that is fairly weak, and the Conclave Mentor, both very important pieces of this deck. And then the challenge is as follows. We are going to be playing a 2-mana card, and we want to play a bunch of creatures. If we play something that costs more than 2 or 3 mana, then it's going to be very, very hard to actually resolve this. But what if we already have the cards on board, say Elspeth Sun's Nemesis or Basri Ket? Then we get to summon creatures on the following turn without paying mana during that turn, and get the full benefit of first day of class. So the idea is we play Shaile on turn 2, we play Oran-Rief Ooze on turn 3, we play Elspeth on turn 4, and then on turn 5 we go first day of class, pick up Pest Summoning, which will allow us to put 2 tokens on the battlefield, and essentially doesn't cost us any card because it's part of first day in class. We cast it, we use Elspeth Sun's Nemesis, and we get basically a bunch of 3/3 haste creatures while we should be getting just 1/1 tokens. So that's the idea behind the deck. If you have a Conclave Mentor, then you get bigger creatures. Also, giving haste or Oran-Rief Ooze is pretty good. Because it's a type of creature that has a good ability. Increasing the number of +1/+1 counters on your creatures is fairly good, but it needs to attack. So giving it haste just allows you to reach that ability faster. Then we're playing Gilded Goose because it allows us to play turn 2 Basri Ket. We're playing Clarion Spirit because it allows us to put a bunch of creatures in play. A 1-of Ozolith because we're playing a bunch of +1/+1 counter synergies. And it's a 1-of. It's fun, it's powerful, why not? A pair of Snakeskin's Veil, kind of like the Selfless Saviors to defend Shaile, Conclave Mentor. In terms of removal, we're playing 2 copies of Kabira's Takedown because they're basically lands and removal in a pinch. 1 Glorious Anthem. If we run out of ways to boost our tokens, then the Glorious Anthem plus first day in class also gives us 3/3s. And that's pretty much the idea of the deck. Just a very well glued together synergistic pile that does moderately powerful things whenever it does combo off. So let's see just how powerful it is in action. With some games, it actually does some pretty cool stuff. We are playing first day of class on MTG Arena Standard against Sasa. Sasa, this game is going to go so-so for you as we completely destroy you using first day of class. I'll keep this, because we have a pair of first days of class. Assume it's going to be morning and afternoon. Selfless Savior and Clarion Spirit. Let's open up with the Savior, which will allow us to protect the Clarion Spirit. Opponent's playing Ragdiv's Sacrifice or Tybalt, probably. Let's play this on red. Play the Clarion Spirit and hit you for 1. You want to keep the option of putting this on white for double white for Elspeth, Or Basri. Mire Triton. So Rakdos Sacrifice it is. Turn passes back to us. I'll play this on green. Have no good usage for first day of class, but we'll attack with both our creatures. Protecting the spirit, of course. And I'll pass the turn back. Swamp Woe Strider. Opponent gets a goat. I don't think we have anything we can play this turn. Just first day of classing's not gonna help us. But now we get to cast Elspeth. Sun's Nemesis. Make some tokens.
The time to fight is I am proud of my comrades.
Let's offer to trade with the spirit. Opponent declines the trade. Well, that's 2 points of damage more. Next turn we have the really nice first day of class Elspeth tokens, as well as summoning some pests. As long as things play out the way we intend them to. Don't kill Elspeth. Please just read Elspeth. Make sure you understand that she only makes 1/1 creatures that will not attack. Excellent. Alright, we find a land. And we get to go off. First day of class. And now we get a pair of 2/2s. Also, we're going to get an extra 2/2 flyer from the Clarion Spirit, which is really nice. Pest Summoning, Clarion Spirit, make a 2/2 flyer. Pest Summoning, make 2 2/2s. So we've summoned 5 2/2 haste creatures. And that's how you combo with first day of class. Might not win us the game, but it's still pretty awesome. Because the opponent does have a fairly large board. Should at least trade with Clarion Spirit if you're going to block something. So we'll get in for 8. Unless you block a 1/1, in which case we'll get in for 9. Opponent's thinking. Doesn't know whether they want to block the 1/1 or the Clarion Spirit. Oh, does not block. That's also a choice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're getting you down to 6. As our go wide strategy is going wonderfully now. Don't think our opponent can down us from 20 to 0. And we still have another first day of class coming right up. Opponent claims our Clarion Spirit for their own. They'll get sacrificed to whichever big black beast decides to take it. Akron War. We'll steal our 2/2. Opponent will go to kill Elspeth. Not much we can do about that. Although we'll be able to revive Elspeth on our turn. But not revive end first day of class. So I'll have to think about this. Opponent sacks the scry twice. Oh no, decides to keep the spirit. That makes sense. What do we have in our sideboard? Could fetch a mascot exhibition. We can do the same trick with a summoning spirit, give it haste with first day of class. But I don't think that's enough. Could exile the Emerstern Predator in exchange for 2/2. We could just make more tokens with Elspeth. Next turn all my creatures will be forced to attack. So we're going to have one more attacking turn. I think we want to just cast Elspeth. Try to get our opponent to attack Elspeth with the Emerstern Predator. This is the most troublesome blocker.
I am proud of my comrades.
Opponent only has 2 cards left. There's also a threat of a 2/2 coming back to us soon. Although our creatures are all going to die next turn, so we will have to attack with them. Assume Emerson Predator should go to Elspeth. Ooh, Woe Strider, that's another pair of blockers. With Clarion Spirit. It's probably going to allow us to go through. So we can go Clarion Spirit. First day of class. Get the Spirit to trigger. Get a 2/2 flyer. We get another pair of 2/2 Ooze from Elspeth. Opponent kills the Clarion, but that doesn't really do anything at this point. It is too late. And we'll take the mascot exhibition. Yeah, we can't play the other ones, so let's take the mascot exhibition. Temple Scry. Because I don't think we have quite a lethal attack. We're going to be forcing some bad blocks from our opponent. Bring out those hasty 2/2s.
Heroes, rally to me.
Hit you with the team. Two, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you don't want to double block. Now that's 5. So yeah, opponent's gonna live. These Woe Striders are just providing too many blockers. Our opponent's going to go down to 3. 4 damage and gain 1 life. You get a bit of scrying action going on. And our opponent's at 3. Woe Strider revivable in graveyard. We go up to 21. But now we don't have a board, and we have a very small amount of cards in our hand, namely just the mascot exhibition. Opponents needs to swing both creatures to Elspeth. I think. Although we'll be able to revive Elspeth soon. Opponent brings back the Woe Strider from the yard. It's a scary board. Although if the opponent attacks with the Immersed Predator, then we get to poke you for one with the Spirit. I like the attack with just the Woe Strider. Attacking us with the Immersed Predator. Okay, trying to exile cards from our graveyard. That is fair, but we'll take the 1 damage in the air.
I have not given up the fight.
Especially since we'll be creating another flyer with a mascot exhibition. Our token production just never ends. Well, now it's gonna end because we're out of cards. Don't want that temple plenty. We got plenty of temples. Poke you with the Spirit. Pass the turn back. 2 to 17. Opponent has the stronger board and the Immersed Predator, which can exile our Elspeth. Castle Lockbane, not a very good drawing engine. And the 2 life off of the Triton kind of hurts us a lot. Opponent attacks heavily. That's 17 points of damage. He'll block a Woe Strider. And Basri now wins us the game. We have some draws that allow us to win. Something that puts +1/+1 counters, basically. Opponent scries. What do we draw? First day of class. Where's the expanded anatomy when you need one? I think I should remove these environmental sciences for an expanded anatomy for a case just like this. Alright. Well, we can't win this turn. But can we live? So I'll target non-land permanent. There's no artifact or enchantment to destroy. So Spirit Summoning is probably our best bet. Get a hasty 4/3. Hit you for 2 in the air. Need to keep the Spirit to chump the Immersed Predator. Which ironically can't attack, as if the Immersed Predator attacks, then we'll block with the Spirit, and we'll have a counter swing with the Inkling. If the opponent has any kind of removal for a Spirit, we will lose the game. And that is a removal spell. That's about as close as it gets. And I think I've learned my lesson. And lesson is, I need to add an expanded anatomy to the sideboard. Which I will do immediately, instead of the environmental sciences. Close game nonetheless. We are playing first day of class on MTG Arena Standard against 08 Zane 08. Playing against Luris. We go first though. I think we keep. White, white, green, red. Our mana's fixed for the game. It's always a good way to start. Let's open up with Shaile. Shaile, shall we? The Dean of Radiance. Or plays the Thieves Guild Enforcer. Mills us a couple cards. Turn passes back. You will get the Oran-Rief Ooze. Put a counter on Shaile. Move to combat. 2 in the air. If you don't have blue, you shouldn't be able to block this. And we'll put a counter on the Oran-Rief Ooze while we're at it. Might as well pass the turn back. Opponent mills us for 4. The double Thieves Guild Enforcer is one of the faster mill engines. Opponent's team started on blue, which is going to play quite well for us. Play the Temple of Abandon. Elspeth. I do really like Elspeth. It's unlikely that we'll get to play her. Now if the opponent has any kind of mill, these enforcers are going to get Death Touch. But I don't think I have that many options anyways. In for 7. Passing the turn back. Setting up first day of class into pest summoning. Opponent will mill Elspeth, which is fine, gives us access to it. Gotta love it when Rogue feeds us some cards. Options. Opponent buys back Lurrus. This is pretty much a death wish. Alright, we need to be careful. White here. White, red. First day of class. We will be fetching. You can sack the Wind Robber. That's why the game's thinking. Alright. Pest summoning. Strongest pests you've ever seen. They're 1/1s. Nope, they're 2/2s. How about we make them 3/3s by attacking with Oran-Rief Ooze? Also bumped the Ooze and Shaile. Yeah, you know what? 3/3s are a little disappointing. Why don't we make them 4/4s? Yeah, for 5 mana, we just summoned a pair of 4/4 haste creatures. That's what we plan on doing. We will also wipe out our opponent's board and take you down to 7. Although the opponent does have Lurrus. That was one super effective first day of class. Opponent Lurrus. I'll play the Wind Robber most likely. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Mills us another Elspeth. Oh, okay, opponent had another Wind Robber. Which is fair. Alright. Pillar Verge Pathway. Move on to combat. We'll trade with your 2 creatures. Well, you'll lose 2 creatures and we'll lose the pest. You do get a card in exchange for that Wind Robber. An annoying card indeed. And we can't let you swarm the board too heavily. And we also want to play this, Elspeth. Nemesis of the Sun. And we'll make a pair of 2/2s.
Heroes, rally to me.
Thanks to Shaile's ability. Has to turn it back to her opponent. Has amazingly 6 cards in hand. And is stabilizing from our onslaught of pests. Overgrown pests. Windrobber. The ideal blocker for a rainy day. One card to the bottom. Our opponent only has 1 blue source available. So no Into the Stories, no hard counters. Maybe a negate. Maybe a drown. Yeah, I guess drown's a hard counter. And the opponent passes back. Alright. I assume the opponent wants to drown. But we're gonna cast a Glorious Anthem, making all our stuff bigger. When it doesn't have a counter. We'll make the tokens.
If you are going to fight, fight beside me.
Play this on green. We have enough white sources. And attack with the family. Soaring Tot Thief. It's no more than just a speed bump, really. One's thinking of blocking with Lurrus. You know you're in a good spot when the opponent's about to trade with a Lurrus or a human soldier. We also have the Snakeskin's Veil to protect Shaile. Opponent will sag the Windrobber. We get in for a bunch. Grow our 2/2s and pass the turn back. Making Elspeth feel good again. We're almost back to Theros. And she was Queen of Control. Well, now she's Lieutenant of Aggro, I guess? Although, like, Basri is probably the Lieutenant. Or Basri has a Lieutenant. Anyway, the opponent plays Into the Story. It's going to be hard pressed to come up with enough blockers or removal, short of a board wipe. I don't think there's a 3-mana board wipe. A Windrobber and a pair of Thieves Guild Enforcer probably keeps you in the game. That's about it. Although you'll gain 3 off of Lurrus. So Lurrus, blocking a token, gain 3 for 1. You take 6. You're dead on board currently. Opponent plays a Soaring Tot Thief, which means we'll be able to take them down to 1. Actually, the Snakeskin Veil is going to be lethal. Let's boost our tokens further.
Believe in yourself as I believe in you.
Now Lurrus is forced to trade negatively, because our opponent needs to block the pair of 5/4s, adding insult to injury. And we get to wrap up the game with Snakeskin's Veil. Just a little bit too much damage. And we saw the power of Elspeth. We also saw first day of class with pest summoning, summoning overpowered pests. that helped us swing the board state into our advantage to beat rogues on MTG Arena Standard. We're playing first day of class on MTG Arena Standard. Our opponent underscore PCG underscore. Alright, we'll keep this. Seems quite keepable. And we have a lot of our combo pieces. We have Shaile, we have Elspeth, we have first day of class. And Kabir's Plateau is going to open up our land. Mostly because we get, I think we want a Shaile on 2, Spirit, Selfless Savior on 3. Especially if the opponent's on mono green, as what seems to be the case. Crackdown Needle Verge, this can go on green safely. Shaile, pass the turn. It's big versus wide. Let's see if we can go wide enough. As long as the opponent doesn't trade for Shaile with some kind of fight spell. Primal Might would be pretty harsh right now. Well, it's thinking, which means the opponent has options. Probably just Love Struck Beast. That's what we want. Garrick's Harbinger. Okay. That is also an option. We will not trade our 2-drop. Wonderful 2-drop. That Conclave Mentor, though. It's a very tempting card. Yeah, I think we want the Conclave Mentor. We want it more than the Clarion Spirit because next turn we'll get to Elspeth. Conclave Mentor, Selfless Savior for a safeguard. Hit you for 1 because we can. And make these guys monstrous. Yeah, we go Elspeth next turn, and then we have Clarion Spirit first day of class. We will protect Shaile. Not overly attached to that Selfless Savior. But Conclave Mentor Shaile is very awesome. Opponent has another Garrick Harbinger. Such awesome stuff, though. Well, red. Definitely red. I think we play Elspeth. Put in a pair of human soldiers. Swing for 1. And make those 3/3s. Capable of blocking your Garrick's Harbinger handily. Or cast a Love Struck Beast. That'll be nowhere near enough. No! The opponent resigns! Right before we get to put our super combo in play. Next turn we could play first day of class, the Conclave Mentor, make the tokens, turn the tokens into 5/5 haste creatures, and take down our opponent. But our opponent didn't let us. It's a disappointment. We are playing first day of class in MTG Arena Standard against Meta Ridley. Alright, we're lacking green, and we have 2 green cards, but that's okay. We have our other colors, a Kabira's Takedown, if we ever need more mana. And now a first day of class. Castle Logfane. Put an Agademe. Okay. I was putting our opponent on rogues, but maybe it's just mono black. One should take the Basri. Opponent does take the Basri. We find our green source, so we'll play it now. Nothing else to play anyways, and another Basri is decent. We do have a copy of First Day of Class, which we'll probably keep for now. So here I think we want to cast a Goose. Split us on red. Play the Goose and pass the turn. Not the most powerful of plays. That's pretty much the only thing we could do. We could cast Basri, but then the opponent attacks Basri, Basri goes down to 1. Dead weight. That'll do. Fortunately, we can't tap it. Mogust's Fever, alright. +2, -1. That is fine. You will take a beating. And gain back some life off of the food. Let's make use of our mana. Elspeth, alright. I can get behind Elspeth. Make a couple of 1/1s. And pass the turn back to our opponent. Have 1 card in the graveyard. We need 4 for Elspeth. Also, we're a little bit short on mana. Opponent will force us to jump Timuret. Kitesaw Freebooter is going to tick her down to 2. But that does lose us one of the human soldiers. Which is kind of their purpose. Defend the Elspeth. Nemesis of the Sun. Now with Elspeth in play, we should be in a good enough position to cast Kabira's Takedown and First Day of Class. Let's go First Day of Class. Transforming these puny 1/1s into 2/2 haste creatures. What do we want to get? I think we'll take a reduced memory. Just so we have some removal. Make the 2/2s.
If you are going to fight, fight beside me.
I really want to shoot down the Timuret. But if our opponent has a kill spell for one of our creatures and we fire it off right now, we're gonna get blown to smithereens. So maybe instead we just play the land. Hold back the Snakeskin's Veil. Yeah, let's do that. We're applying more pressure now. Thanks to the food from the Goose, we're winning the race. So the opponent seems to be started on 3 lands. Opponent does get to exile Elspeth. One of the side effects of Timuret. One cast Demonic Embrace. Should have cast it on Timuret. Swinging for 8. 8 will do. Another tap land. Turn passes back to us. We'll hold up the Snakeskin Veil. We'll swing for 5. I'm pretty sure. I should think this through. Do I want a Goose? Goose reduced to memory. Or do we want to Goose and Elspeth? Goose Elspeth is probably the most mana efficient play. We can take our opponent down to 8. I think we want to cast the Elspeth in order to be mana efficient.
Must act swiftly and protect the innocent from harm.
Put more creatures in play.
Courage will bloom in all who seek justice.
Make sure you can block the Timeret, and we'll play the Goose just to have a flying blocker. So now the opponent needs another Demonic Embrace, as well as a removal spell for the Gilded Goose in order to kill us. Or pair of pump spells for the Kitesail Freebooter. Alright, well here's the Myra's Grasp. There's not enough mana for another Demonic Embrace, which means we'll be able to chump Timeret. Unless unless the Freebooter goes after Elspeth.
Become a nightmare.
In which case, our attack hits you for 5. Can up that to 6 with Snakeskin's Veil. Opponent can also gain 1 life from Timeret, exiling the Goose. So I think we want a Basri. It all starts with a Basri. Basri plus, I will make a 2/2 indestructible. Move to combat. Hit you for a bunch. Opponent takes 6. Opponent gains back 1, exiles our Elspeth. So opponent's down to 3. So they need to be quite careful. You can counter push, swing for 8. Demonic Embrace is going to put them in terrible trouble. Because now they can swing for 11, but we still have a piece of food, which they've probably forgotten about. Do not forget about it. Goes after Basri. That is fun, but we have lethal attack on board. You do not have enough mana to protect it from the Freebooter. Hit you for lethal, and that is game. Whew. Close one. Very close indeed. But we beat Mono Black, even through the Demonic Embraces. We are playing first day of class on MTG Arena Standard against Domplex. Ah, this is good. You get a turn 1 Goose. It's always a good start. The Goose forgot its winter coat, although Goose Feather is probably fairly warm. In any case, we will move on with Shaile, the Dean of Radiance, with unfortunately nothing to defend her from bone-crushing giants. Ocelot. It's interesting. I'll get red. I'll go with the Spirit. Yeah, opponent is going to bone crush us. Ocelot. Clarion Spirit triggers. Well, now we have a source of +1/+1 counters with Shaile. Move to combat. Opponent bounces the Ocelot. Okay. I'm quite happy with that. As Clarion Spirit and his friendly Token Spirit are now boosted. Snakeskin's Veil. That's also pretty good. Let's just go to combat. Hit you for 6. Opponent flashes in the Brazen Barber. Trades with Shaile. That is fine. Let's cast our Ozolite. Why not? Fabled Passage, also known as the soon-to-be Mountain. You get a Selfless Savior. We should play it. Try to bait out a removal spell, which would allow us to Snakeskin's Veil. No, we don't get it. Alright. In for 5. And this is gonna hurt, man. Because we get a Spirit, we get a counter, and we kill the Brazen Barber. You're going to attempt to stomp? No, you do not. And so you get in for an extra point of damage. As turn passes back to you. Now we have lethal attack on the board. Opponent plays the Gold Span Dragon on the fence. Which is exactly where we like to see our enemies' Gold Span Dragons. But you had to play another Selfless Savior. Swing at you with everything, which will leave 5 points of damage. Protect the 3/3 flyer. It's actually pretty good. And pass a turn back. Opponent's on 3. Any of these 2 threats will be lethal. If we get a cast Elspeth, it'll be lethal. If we get a cast our Glorious Anthem, it'll be lethal. Basically, our opponent needs a board wipe that doesn't kill the Goldspan Dragon on 3 mana. 4. Fabled Passage. Draconic Intervention would do it. Resigning will not, though. Resigning will give us the victory with our Spirit tokens. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. It won't cost you any mana, and it greatly helps to support this channel and keep the awesome videos coming. Until next time, may the fun be with you.